So folks, here we go. As promised, if I found it, because somebody did mention it in previous comments, if I found it, they'd love to see a copy of Ravening Hordes. Here we go. You on time? So, here we go. Ravening Hordes, folks. The original version. I need to move something out the way off my table. Sorry about that, folks. So, we have Ravening Hordes. The original one. These were intended to be used, if I remember rightly, the second edition of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Now, for those of you who don't know, these were army lists to go alongside the second edition rules, even though you could create your own. But yeah, this is a really nice bit of artwork on the front, must admit. And then we open it up, and the authors are Richard Halliwell, Brian Ansell, and the editor was Rick Priestley at the time. Internal art is by Chris Akialos, pardon me if I got that wrong, Tony Ackland, Dave Andrews, Nick Bibby, John Blanche, Colin Dixon, Jez Goodwin, Ali Morrison and Trish Morrison. So all the old school ones. So you can see on the first thing you've got introduction, which is new magical weapons, equipment, scenery, blah blah blah. Then the armies: Orcs and Goblins, Undead, Dark Elves, Skaven, Chaos, Nippon, Norse, Empire, Dwarves and Elves. Then you've got your allied contingents as well, which you've got Dark Elves, Dwarves, the Empire, Giants, Gnomes, Halflings, Lizard Men, Orcs and Goblins, Sea Elves, Tree Men, Undead and Wood Elves and Zotes. Then you've got your Mercenaries, which is your Empire, Hobgoblin, Kislev, Norse, Ogres and Orcs. So yeah, so that's what you got mainly within it. I'm not going to go through it word by word, but you've got instructions here, drawing up your army, how to, sort your army out through the lists, the new rules for battle and deployment and things, maneuvers, complex maneuvers. So moving around buildings and all your character models. This is basically an upgrade or rules definition of things that needed clarifying in Warhammer Fantasy Battle, the second edition. So you've got some outstanding artwork in here as well. Dated by today, of course, but still lovely bits of artwork. The Macbeth scene up there from the add-on scenario box set that came out. Then you've got all your lists for Orcs and Goblins. Even includes half Orcs in this. So yeah, all your minor hero fighting characteristics, blah blah blah. Introduction of Savage Orcs. What you can and can't have within your armies. All your listings. Points. 7.5 points for York crossbows, completely different to what it is now. And then the additionals, half a point for a shield, a point for armour. The undead army, so you've got everything that you would normally find. So it's starting to go on spine here, we've got to be careful. Dark Elves. It's quite an old book, this. Starting to go really down the bottom of this spine, so I'm going to have to be very, very careful with it. I don't want it totally busting. So you've got your Dark Elves, Skaven. So more Skaven pictured, the standards, stuff like that. Yeah, fire throwers, slaves, potions. And then we had some lovely, at the time, colour photos. You got the original card buildings that were out of blood on the streets and various other things. This one's depicting orcs fighting against dwarves. The Imperial dwarves, based on medieval, they were cracking at the time. I still think they're very nice now. So some of the old orcs got character, bags of character, to be fair. So what's on the next one? Yeah, you had a larger picture here, look. Featuring some of the heroic fighters. Some of the Vikings in the front there. Chaos thugs, I believe. Orcs. Chaos dwarves. Got a lovely picture here of the Norse figures. Skaven against the dwarves at the top, and Chaos above that. These were quite inspiring pictures at the time, if I'm honest with you. It was the bee's knees of its period. And here we go. Some more of those wonderful Norse figures, and the bloke with a blue hat at the end, which is a wizard. That's from out of the Lord of the Rings range at the time in the 80s. So you got your Skaven army lists, your Chaos army list. Yeah, you got things, the attributes you could throw. You got one for Skaven, Beastman, and Hound. So there are your mutations, I think, things like that. Chaotic firearms, rocket launcher. Yeah, it certainly was a bit more diverse, the army lists were. Nippon. You got your samurai, warrior monks, ninja assassins. Rules on your ninja suicide squads. Arquebus, which would be Ashigaru types. Yeah, would have had those, which is the rules for those. Fire up pistols, rockets, all your directional stuff for your rockets there. Rocket launcher, cannon. So then your list itself. Yeah, your armies were a lot larger in this. Points values are completely different. Then you've got your Norse look. Yeah, your shape changer bear, rat, shape changer wolf, or skulls. Rules on berserkers, saga, animosity. How to build up. Here's your rank and file for an army. The Empire. And amongst there, all your traditional Empire stuff. But in the artillery, you've got something like chain shot, and then ball. You got your bombardiers as well in there. Yeah, virtually your standard stuff, but you've got included pikemen in here as well. Arquebusiers, Imperial Guard cavalry, Guard infantry, Imperial Guard archers. So there were some slight differences to it. Militia, foresters, levies. Could have halfling foragers, flagellants. Yeah, artillery trained guard. And your standard dwarf stuff with war engines and everything. Your dwarf army list. Elves. Elven army list. Some artwork as well. Allies, look. Elwings, Elven cavalry. I've got a load of them. I might dig them out and slowly paint through them, and then you can go through that with me. My journey painting them in the future. That probably won't be till New Year, to be fair. There's all rules for giants, and this is all allies.